Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here to talk about Ghostbusters. No, not Afterlife, but the original film that started it all way back in '84. That's right, Ghostbusters, starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, Rick Moranis, Sigourney Weaver, Annie Potts. Just an incredible cast. Some of the greatest comedy minds like Bill Murray and Rick Moranis that we've ever seen in the world of show business. And this film kind of started what became a pop cultural phenomenon because Ghostbusters has gone on to become this huge, massive thing, which I'm sure they were hoping for when they created the film, but there's no way they could have predicted that it'd become what it has become today, especially with this film. It's just, it was the 80s, so there was a lot of weird stuff going on. Star Wars had come out. We've seen a lot of, like, E.T., I believe E.T. had come out by this time, so we've seen, like, big sci-fi stuff before, but this one was kind of, like, almost taking, like, the SNL type movie and mixing it in with, like, sci-fi, and it could have been a risk at the time, but the cast, the dynamic between them just really sold it. And then, of course, lovable ghosts like Slimer and Zool, of course, and of course, everyone loves the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That kind of brought the film all together and got people talking about it and led it on to become one of the most popular and biggest franchises in Hollywood history. I will say, if it wasn't this cast, I don't know if this film would have worked as well. Like, if you have someone else delivering Bill Murray's lines in this, I don't know if it would have worked as well. Like, Bill Murray is definitely one of the standout of this film, and I think that was kind of the point. He is more or less the main character. Of course, they're all the Ghostbusters, and of course, they're all the main characters, but Bill Murray really gets some of the best lines, some of the best stuff. It really revolves around him and Dana, Sigourney Weaver's character. It really focuses it on them, and the rest of them are more or less supporting characters, but they're main players as well, except Ernie Hudson, because in this one he actually doesn't even come in until like halfway through the film, which is fine because that's when the Ghostbusters get popular. But it is kind of weird thinking back and being like, wow, Ernie Hudson wasn't even actually there at the formation of the Ghostbusters. He came in later, so it's kind of weird to think back on that, because you always just think of all four of them as like the original Ghostbusters. But yeah, it was actually the original three. And the other standout for me in this film has always been Harold Ramis. His dry humor, his dry delivery, and just some of the stuff he says is just fan-friggin-tastic. Some of the interactions between him and Annie Potts' receptionist character are fantastic. It kind of felt like they were kind of maybe setting up a romantic entanglement there for possible sequel, but of course, if you've seen the sequel, you know that doesn't happen because, well, she gets with Rick Moranis' character, who of course nails it in this movie. Rick Moranis is always great, one of the best comedic minds in the history of Hollywood, and just him constantly just like he's like the little Weasley kind of nerd, also kind of like the nervous bumbling guy. He's always trying to get Sigourney Weaver's character to go out on a date with him, and then when he finally gets her to kind of say yes to coming to his party, of course, Zool attacks and shit goes down from there. Sigourney Weaver, oh man, she's just the queen of the 80s and 90s, isn't she? I mean, she's still great today, but if she had Ghostbusters and Aliens going on at the same time, that's just, she is one of the queens of pop culturedom. She is just one of the top stars. And this film is one of the top films. Of course, this spawned a sequel, an animated series, tons of video games, a reboot, and now we have Ghostbusters Afterlife coming out, and it all started from this film, and this film is truly one of the best in the history of Hollywood, in my opinion. I think this is one of the greatest films of all time, one of the most influential films of all time, and it spawned a franchise that has generated billions of dollars for Hollywood and the creators like Dan Aykroyd himself, and it just, I can't wait to see Ghostbusters Afterlife, see how they continue this story. Of course, we're going to talk about Ghostbusters 2 as well here in a few days, but Ghostbusters, one of my favorite films of all time. I can't wait to see where Jason Reitman picks up where his father left off in Ghostbusters Afterlife, and that's why we're here to talk about all these retro films anyway. So I'm going to give Ghostbusters, the original film from '84, a 9.5 out of 10. This is just about as perfect as a film can get, perfectly enjoyable, it's hilarious, it's got some romance, it's got Slimer. You can't go wrong if you got Slimer. Well, actually you can. 2016 Ghostbusters. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the original Ghostbusters down below. Is it one of your favorite films of all time? Are you not that big of a fan of Ghostbusters? Are you looking forward to this weekend's Ghostbusters Afterlife? Let's chat down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys right here next time.